All right, back to our prepping. So I laid out 2 large cookie sheets and I sprayed them down, and actually I ran out of spray later on, so I had to switch to the paper towel and putting oil in, but that's fine. So then I dumped my toppings in. I don't know if they would be called toppings, but my extras into my egg bakes. So I did the peppers and onions, and then the feta cheese and the sausage on one side, and then on the other side I went ahead and used my shredded cheddar and the bacon bits that I had chopped up. And I don't know about you all, I know I mentioned this a lot, but I love shredding my own cheese. I feel like it melts so much better and it just is so much more tasty. Then it was time to do all of the eggs. And for each of these sheets, I did 24 eggs this time around. I feel like it's just the perfect amount. Sometimes I adjust it a little bit depending on how much filling or toppings I put inside of the egg bake. And this time I did some different things. I added some whole milk and some sour cream. I saw this idea on Pinterest and it did make the eggs a lot fluffier, but of course you may not want to do that if you are trying to stick with dairy free. I also put some salt and pepper in as well. And then for the second pan, I just kind of did them separately so I could manage and know exactly how much I was pouring into each pan. So the second pan, I just repeated the same steps. I did 24 eggs, I did a cup of milk, and a cup of sour cream with salt and pepper. Also, I did not film it, but it was quite a task to carry those to the oven and get them in without dumping them, which I did manage. Okay, so this is something that literally for months I've been wanting to do, and I finally came up with the recipe that I felt would work the best, and that is to do a strawberry baked oatmeal. In fact, my daughters have been asking for it. We love strawberry, and they wanted a strawberry baked oatmeal. So I did find this recipe on Pinterest. However, I did tweak it. I will leave the link below where all the other recipes are, but I added in some actual strawberry flavoring. I found it at Walmart. I think it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I did do the vanilla extract, and then I also added 2 teaspoons of strawberry flavoring. In fact, next time I could even maybe do 3. It seems to be kind of a light flavor. And then the other thing too is there was no sugar that went into this. It was just the maple syrup, which I felt added even more flavor. So it was kind of this strawberry maple deliciousness. I think we all agreed that this was the best baked oatmeal I have ever made. The consistency was excellent. And then I also wanted to bake them up into individual containers, so I used some of my glass containers. Just to make these extra pretty and fun to eat, I decided to slice all of the strawberries and then place them on the tops of each of the mini baked oatmeals. I could have diced them and thrown them in and mixed them around, but again, I just thought it would be prettier this way and that we would have more fun eating them this way. I will try to see if these containers are in stock. I know you guys have sold them out just because I use them so often, but they have these pretty green lids and they do work great in the oven. I actually like to make things in these because I don't have a microwave and I use my air fryer a lot, so I love being able to take something out of the freezer and stick it right in the air fryer, since it doesn't matter if you put metal or glass into the air fryer. Alright, so this recipe, it was kind of inspired by last month whenever I made the protein Kodak cakes pancake mix muffins, and I did chocolate chip last month, but I told the girls, you know what, let's do blueberry. And this recipe is actually a little different than the one I had followed last month because it has yogurt in it, which I love, so it really amps up the protein, and I feel really great about the girls having these for breakfast. We've done them a couple different ways. They are done with a whole grain, so I like to add a little something to them, so I'll slice them in half. You could do butter, but we actually have done the cinnamon cream cheese that you can buy at the store. Super good. The girls really love that. And then you can also do honey, anything. You can eat them just plain, but just since they are a whole grain, I feel like for kids they do a little better if they have some sort of spread on them or something like that. At this point, my egg bakes had cooled down, and so I went ahead and cut them into portion sizes, and they were not completely cool, so I did transfer them to some wax paper and my cooling rack just to get completely cool before I put them into gallon Ziploc bags for the freezer. And I do heat these in my air fryer, so they're really easy to do in the morning, and I don't have to get out all of the things to make omelets. It's basically like having omelets on hand that you can heat up really fast. Okay, so the next thing I did was assemble some smoothie packs. I love having these in the freezer. You can just get them out and dump them right into your blender, add a little bit of almond milk or whatever you want to. So I wanted to do a mango version. I got these frozen cubed mangoes from Walmart. It's just a great price for mangoes to buy them this way. And then I did some banana in with it. I did one banana each. Sometimes I get questions if my bananas turn black doing it this way. I've never had any issues with that, but we do eat them up pretty quickly. They haven't been in the freezer for like a super long time before we eat them, so maybe that's why they're fine and they don't turn black. And then I also added in my cubes of the coconut milk. These chocolate molds, along with all the things in my kitchen, are in my Amazon shop, which I will leave linked below. I know I get questions a lot about why I use black bags or foil, and simply just for convenience. You all know that I'm a busy mom and I work from home, I work full time, and so sometimes having things in disposable containers just helps me out a lot. All right, and it started snowing again outside. This day was very snowy. So the next thing I made was these cream cheese sausage bites, cream cheese cheddar sausage bites. I can't exactly remember the full name. It'll be in the recipe linked below. But I have to say, these are incredible. I've made different types of sausage bites through the years. I've never made this recipe before, but wow, oh wow. So good. They almost remind me a little bit of like a biscuit mixture in with the sausage, and they actually even have some baking powder, I think, so it kind of makes them extra fluffy. I've never made sausage bites with baking powder in them, but these were so yummy, and I'm definitely going to be making them again. I did double the batch for these sausage bites, so it did make a good amount, and I was happy. I think if I make them again, I probably will make the same amount. Another little suggestion I have for you is divide your food up into the amounts that you need. Like for me, I just felt like it was appropriate that we would get 6 muffins out of the freezer at a time. Just make your portion sizes to what you need. I have gotten a ton of requests to show you guys how I make freezer meals. So I'm going to try to add them in to my videos here and there. So this is what I made for dinner this same day. I pulled out this lemon pepper chicken from the freezer, which by the way, I did not know that lemons freeze this well, but they look almost exactly the way that